to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. And everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the HitmanDDub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. Okay, what's up everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast. It's along with me, the HitmanDDub, and this is not Mikey Mike. He did not have one of those Benjamin Button moments where he went back and got younger. This is our other DJ friend, DJ Cool Thing. So he'll be a guest on our show tonight, and DJ Mikey Mike is running behind schedule, so he'll be here shortly. And our podcast is a place where DJs of all walks of life come together to connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So in last week's episode, these are the three main takeaways. One, we talked about protecting your brand and not your ego. Basically, we're talking about how we act online on our socials, whether you're the one dishing out the criticism or the destructive criticism, or you're the one receiving it, and how do you respond to that so it doesn't tarnish your brand. So the three main takeaways was, one, protect your brand and not your ego. So be careful what you say. Wait a minute, DJ Mikey Mike is coming in, so let him in. Camera. All right, give him a second to come into the room. Let me see. 3.
Hello, hello.
All right, we hear you, but we can't see you. All right, here you come.
All right. Then can't.
No, it's glitchy. So we're going to continue, and we'll check back in with you. Give you 30 minutes or so, because we know how your computer needs time to warm up.
And we're having there's back today. You can't. And I should be, but yeah, and my computer 30.
Yeah, let's go on, because you cutting out real bad.
Hey.
All right. Now I gotta remember last week's episode. We were talking about protecting your brand and how we should behave online, because you never know when a potential client is gonna look at your profile. Just like sometimes we look at their profile to try to get an idea of what kind of people you're going to DJ for. They do the same thing. Look at your social profiles, and sometimes there are people that could jeopardize a future gig from the things that they post. So the first key takeaway was to protect your brand and not your ego. Sometimes it's better to not respond at all if you feel that you're at that point of going over the edge. Sometimes it's better to hold off and walk away. Also, we need to know when feedback is constructive or destructive, and we have to know the difference. So let me put up our chart so you to reinforce what is constructive criticism, what is destructive criticism. So constructive criticism is criticism or comments that aims to help or support, focuses on behavior or work, gives suggestions for improvement, deliver respectively, and encourages growth. And sometimes I did this because I saw a lot of posts on other websites, be it DJs helping DJs or amazing DJ setups, where someone gives a constructive criticism, but either the response is not constructive, or they're not receiving the feedback correctly, so they make destructive criticisms, start attacking the person, and then that person responds back by attacking them, and then instead of helping, now you just basically attacking each other and no one's listening. So destructive criticism is when your comment aims to hurt or humiliate, often targets the person, offers no path forward, deliver aggressively or sarcastically, and damages confidence and reputation. So those are the things that we need to be careful with when we respond back. And then the third thing is reputation is built by consistency and community. So again, it's harder to rebuild your reputation if you kind of like destroy it. Because I think the rule is, for every negative behavior or comment, it takes at least 4 positives afterwards to kind of like change people's view of that one bad, I guess, experience. So those are the things that we need to kind of like keep in mind, and those were the things that we had talked about last week. And this week's, and then if you notice, our shows during the summer have been all based on a theme from a summer blockbuster. So again, the first one was the Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street thing, where we talked about the nightmare gigs we have and running the gig gauntlet, where we had back-to-back gigs and all the things that we had to deal with. The second one was Mission Impossible. Men in Black. Men in Black was the second one. And the third one was Mission Possible instead of Impossible, where we had talked about speaker placement with Buddy. And let me see. And then this week it's all about off the Ghostbusters theme, and we call it Streambusters, because tonight we're going to talk about video promotions, because a lot of times it's hard to get started. And let me see, let me fix this real quick. Sorry. Which one, DJ Mikey Mike, can you give your cell phone a different name so I know which one to block? So it's
okay. I'll do it. One sec.
So I'm gonna assume it's this one, and I'm gonna
this was the ones.
Stop video. Let's see. Oh, I got the right one. So can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, no, it's just your video is frozen.
Oh, and I change it.
So let me get back to, because I'm gonna forget where
Go ahead.
I was trying to go. So this week is all about Streambusters. So we're gonna talk about how to promote yourself online through video, whether it's through a video that you shot and then you go back and edit, or live video, or live streams, or vlogs. So that's what we're gonna highlight tonight. And we're calling this show Streambusters. But before we get into the different segments for tonight's event, we'll start off with cool things. So what do you got new coming up? Because I've seen you had a whole bunch of new videos uploaded.
Well, I actually don't have anything much coming up this week, but I do have a DJ gig coming up on the 4th of July. It's going to be my yearly 4th of July at the fireworks store. I got to help my mom out when she works and just play music for the customers who go there, buy fireworks and all that stuff. And after the summer, I am getting ready for an engagement party for my sister and her fiance, who they met in South Dakota, and they moved here to Myrtle Beach from South Dakota, and we're going to have an engagement party, and their actual wedding is actually next year at Disney World. They're going to get married at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. I'm actually looking forward to that, and we're going to come back home and have a celebration party. So I got a lot of really cool gigs coming up.
Okay.
And also got the Grand Strand Down Syndrome Society Festival and Buddy Walk around that same time. So I'm going to be very busy after the summer.
All right. Cool.
That's cool.
All right. So let's before we get back to Mikey Mike, can you say something, Mikey Mike? See which
Yep,
one.
I'm right here. Can you hear me good?
Now you got to mute the mic on your computer.
Okay. There we go. How's that?
Nope.
No. I have to minimize my screen down for. Can you minimize your screen down there? I have to mute my speaker. I'm sorry about that.
All right, so both of them is. So unmute this one. Can you unmute the mic on your phone?
Okay, I'm on mute now.
No, I'm trying to see.
I can see I'm frozen up there.
All right, you're frozen.
Yeah.
So that's gonna clear up. The mic is not dropping out, but you got echo. So that means you need to turn down the sound on one of your devices.
Yeah, on my let's see. I have to turn on the volume on my computer, but I have. Can you minimize your screen there, Gwen?
Minimize it to what?
Your full screen here. Let's see. Wait, maybe I can get to mine. Let's see. I'm so sorry about this. Okay, hang on. I got it now. There we go. How's that now?
Keep talking.
All right. How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, I don't hear that.
No echo now.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear it as bad.
And it's still frozen, right?
It's clearing up.
Clearing up. We've been getting clobbered with thunderstorms since around 11 o'clock this morning, and just kept on going throughout the whole afternoon. But going on for this weekend, I have private party tomorrow night for 4th of July. Then a graduation party on Saturday. Then a private party next Saturday. 4th of July, I'm taking off this year. I got a couple of phone calls for that, but I'm gonna spend some time with my family and stuff like that. Because I've been DJing so many years, 20 plus years now, and usually I'm out on 4th of July, and I'm staying home and relax this year. And then basically the whole month of July, I booked up every weekend between weddings and a couple graduation parties, but basically all weddings, Fridays, Saturdays. I think the one weekend is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But I'm thankful,
Okay. Yeah,
That's gonna be a busy summer.
Okay, because I have one coming up in a few weeks, a fireworks show that I'm doing for Kevin. And then the week after, our church is opening back up, because we were having repairs done to the roof, because we have one of these fancy domes, and parts of the dome was falling down. So we got that fixed. So we're having a big festival for that weekend. So I'll be DJing our Saturday festival leading up to our Sunday service, the first Sunday back into our old church.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I DJ at St. Peter's and Paul's Church, and they have a beautiful hall. The priest went out. He took my advice because it was all echoey in there. It was actually a school cafeteria at one time. This was a Catholic school above the cafeteria. So he asked me what he could do, and I told him, I said, get these panels, and you'll place them right down each section of the wall, so many feet apart. Now there's no more echo, which is great. But they're doing some renovations in the hall. He's dumping a ton of money into this hall, to the church, to also. I'm Catholic, in the Catholic religion, like our diocese, you give all the money to the church, and you think it stays in the church. It doesn't. It goes up to the Scranton diocese, and then they distribute it throughout the whole diocese. So a lot of people are upset about that, but at least the priest that's at our church, he's taking the money that he's getting back from the diocese, and he's making improvements to the church and for the future, for the church, for the parishioners, so they could recoup some of the money that they're losing through holding events at the hall and stuff like that. So, which is really, really good.
Okay.
I think it holds about 800 or 900 people. It's a big hall.
And now I'd like to say, what's up, buddy? And he had said he have a wedding this weekend with 200 people, and it's the last wedding for the month, and he'll be using the DBES 1002, and he said he's pulling out the big boys for this one.
All right, buddy.
And then speaking about Buddy again, I would like to thank him. I am so glad I listened to his advice when he was on the show a couple of weeks ago, because I was almost tempted the way the room was. And we had talked about this, the floor plan and all that. And I think it was like 2 weeks ago. And I was still tempted of just going with, I knew not to do I didn't want to risk it with my column arrays. I was going to just do the EV ELX 200s and then the subwoofer and leave it at that. But he suggested that I also bring in my column arrays and put it up there on both sides of the bride and groom, and turn it down low enough, just enough to fill the room, so I don't have to blast a lot of sound coming from one direction, but I can turn my speakers up loud enough just so the people in the back can hear, and then the people up front with the column arrays turn it up just enough so everybody in the front can hear and hear comfortably. And So here's a video of it. So I got the 2 column arrays up front. And this is at the end of the party. At the beginning of the party, they had and this is the back wall of the EVs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the first dance. And off to the side, off to the left, is another room. The sound where they were doing the dancing and all that was great. But I didn't realize that stepping on the other side of the threshold, that the sound would, it's almost like the sound went into a Bermuda Triangle kind of thing. There was really no sound. But good thing they had like this Bluetooth speaker that also have XLRs and all that in the back. So good thing now they turned off the lights so you was able to see that room. Good thing she allowed me to be able to hook up my system to those speakers. So the overflow of people that were sitting out in that little room could still be able to hear the speakers, the speeches, the toast, and and still enjoyed the music. So this one was a funny kind of reception. At first, when you had initially asked me how did it go over the weekend, I said it was just okay, until I went back, and that's why we're going to talk about it's kind of important sometimes to record, if you can, record your event, because when I went back to edit the video for the show, I had a different outlook of how the event turned out. Because in my mind, one, the party, she said, was going to start at 6 o'clock. But when I did my consultation with the couple, they said,
right?
Huh?
It was a different time, right?
Yeah. Originally they said 6 o'clock. So I was like, so when do you expect to do the cocktail hour? So the cocktail hour going to start at 6 o'clock? She said, no, that's when we expect to come and arrive and all that. So I'm like, if the venue is opening up early, if you're all getting married at 3 o'clock, from 3 to 6, that's a long time. So I'm saying you probably should do the cocktail hour at 5 o'clock. All right? So we agreed to that, and we had the timeline on the cocktail hour being at 5 o'clock. So therefore, as soon as people get finished with the weddings, because the wedding is usually an hour, if it's that, and if it starts on time. So you're looking at, and the church is not that far from the venue. So I'm like, I know people are going to come from the reception while you all taking your pictures, not the reception, the ceremony, while you're taking your pictures, they're going to come and sit at the ceremony. So when I went and talked to the wedding coordinator, she was like, no, it's going to start at 6 o'clock, this, that. I was like, fine. And she said on the invitation, it says 6 o'clock. So I said, okay, fine. So therefore, I changed the times and I moved everything up an hour. Not up an hour, back an hour. So I'm like, okay, since we're not starting till 6 o'clock, I don't need to be there that hour before. So I showed up at an hour later than what I initially had said. And why did people start coming in at 5 o'clock? People start coming in at 5. I'm still trying to set up, so I still have stuff out. And I don't set up in my suit. I set up, jeans and a t-shirt, because I don't want to mess up my suit. So why that it's 5, I say about 5. No, it's not 5. It's 5. About 5:20, 5:30. She was like, if you parked in the front, you got to move your car because the guests is getting ready to start coming in, which people are already coming in. And it didn't register yet. And then too, because they said in the timeline, they said, oh, the bride is not going to be there till 6:45. So I'm thinking, as long as I have everything going and the music going at 6 o'clock, I still have time, change my suit. So why is it at 5:50? They're saying the bus is here with the bride and groom. And they were talking about doing the grand entrance. I'm like, I'm looking at her. I'm like, how do we get to almost 6 o'clock from, it's supposed to be at 6, the cocktail hour starts at 6 o'clock, and there wasn't supposed to be there till 6:45. Now, you came early on top of that. How did we get to that point? Because I'm like, see, that kind of stuff, I had to deal with that one. So I had to quickly change. I had to throw everything up. Good thing I had the sound going. And with the lights, I had to do the best I could with the lights. I couldn't like do the sound switch stuff like I wanted to. With the up lights, I just had to change it from DMX because I couldn't get them to work with sound switch. I gotta figure out, they act funny. Those RF ones, the wireless, they got the built-in wireless. They kind of like act funny sometimes, and then sometimes you gotta with the dongle change it back so it can link up. So with that one, I just had to do the remote and just throw some lights up in the corner, and then not the up lights, the wash effects. I didn't worry about that because I don't want to have the lights going, during dinner anyway. So I had to deal with that. And then the mics, I didn't get a chance to test the mics. So I had to basically plug in the mics and just fine tune as I talk to introduce them, because I didn't want to keep them on the bus because it's hot. So I had to quickly, everything was thrown off, and I was just so irritated because little stuff like that, again, that you could tell that she has not did weddings or know how weddings work. That's why we do timelines. That's why the timelines are set and done a certain way. So, but once we got past that, everything was cool. This was more so, it's the atypical wedding, like a church kind of event. And the church event, mostly they just want to hear nice, easy, like smooth jazz kind of music, eat dinner, then do a couple of line dances, then they're out, because by that time it's starting to get dark. And once 9 o'clock happens, a lot of church folks don't stay because they get up and either they have to do their Sunday school lesson or teach, or if they're deacons or stuff, they have to get up early and set the church and everything. So they did just that at 9 o'clock. Then they all hit it out. But the other thing that went on, what else? Oh, the thing I told her not to do this. When you do the grand entrance, once the bride comes in, you do the entrance and the introductions. You either gonna have them either do their first dance, or you go right into the welcome and then the blessing of the food and get to the dinner. Because again, if people went to your ceremony that's at 3 o'clock, it's about 6 or 7 o'clock, they're ready to eat. And because all the timing is off, we end up waiting for whoever's to do the welcome. They want to wait for this person instead of going to, moving the thing on. So now you having people sit and sit and sit. And about time we got ready for the blessing and everything, I was like, while we just sitting, you could have did the first dance. We could have did a swerve. I'm like, do the first dance or something so we can not have something going, so people are not just sitting. And then 2, you had the photographers. They were scheduled only up till 8:30. So now they're starting to get antsy. So it's like time is going through, because I gave her the outline and everything. And it was like, we want to make sure we get all these pictures in before 8:30. And we haven't started, the dinners and all that kind of stuff. So that was something else I had to deal with. And then you had a bunch of people. And then you had a little room serving a buffet. So that means it takes forever for everybody to line up. So it's like, if you have a bunch of people, a buffet may not work, or you need to make sure you can have 2 lines going or more than a little room because it took forever to get through the line of that. And then too, they wanted the bride and groom to be served first, instead of going to the buffet line. So again, we had to wait for them to go see what they wanted. Then you go get the lunch. After I made the announcement, it was like that whole beginning part was a nightmare. And so we finally got to the open dance, the first dance and all that stuff. Once we got going, and then we had 2 kinds of people at the event. You had one group of people that was used to DJs being extremely old school. So they wanted a lot of slow hand dancing songs and throwback songs. And of course they was kind of like gripey at the beginning of the open dance, because by that time I was bored. I'm like, you all sitting. I'm like, everybody was asking about requests. I told them about my request sign and all that. And it was like, oh, you're going to do boots on the ground. So that was the first thing I did boots on the ground so we can start on a high note to get everybody moving. Of course, there was a group that wanted the old school kind of like dance stuff. So it's like one of those things I had to like, I heard them, but I had to work them in when I could, because I was not about to go real slow on top of sitting all day and then doing first dance, which is slow, doing cake cutting, which was slow, and all that stuff. So it's like one of those things. Once we got going, it was an okay event. I had more dance footage than what I expected, but that was a good call. I'm glad Buddy gave me the advice to do the 2-speaker system, and now I'm gonna look into getting a satellite speaker, a small one. So if I run into an issue again where sound is not coming through for the overflow room, I have a speaker that I know I have ready to go, so I can do that to them, give that for them so they can hear everything. So that's how my weekend went. Overall, I thought it was a good event once we got through there. And
before we get started, I want to show them the picture of my setup, because I actually did work on that this week as well.
Okay.
I know you took a screenshot of it.
Yep. Let me go to, because I know you had said in one of your videos that you had. There you go.
All right, this is my garage DJ setup. This is what I worked on this week. The only thing new on that setup is the Pioneer DJC STS1 laptop stand, and that thing works amazingly well.
I think you had a.
I mean, and there's the laptop stand right there with my DJ 400. So I now have a lot more room to work with, instead of using my Pro X case, because every time I'm dancing and practicing hyping up the crowd, I always hit my knuckles and they always get cut from the metal part of the flight case. So I had to take it out to have more room for the controller, and I still have my Behringer Xenix 802S mixer, and I still have my Rockville Rock Power 50s with the RBLS1 tripod stands.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So how much did that stand run?
I mean, it was $130 some. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Let me check. Let me check real quick. I bought the stand for $160.92.
Okay.
So it's not that bad for a laptop stand.
Yeah. Because I had bought a new one. Do I have it? Yeah. I bought the Reloot, the Stand Hub Pro.
Yeah.
I think this one is close to $200. And I like this one because it folds small, but the main thing is, because I always bring a bunch of USB stuff, and it's hard to because I don't want to loosen it too much because I don't want it to move. But what I like, they have a whole bunch of USB slots and HDMI slots, and then the same thing on the other side. So I don't have to, when I need extra space on my booth, because I got the same booth that you got, the Rockville booth. You know,
Oh yeah, that's
once you
cool.
start putting stuff up there, you run out of real estate. So I
Yeah.
needed something to put this in, to be able to still plug stuff up into it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right here is my stand, gravity stand for my computer.
Uh-huh.
I love it. I mean, there's nothing to it, as you can see. You just open it up.
Okay.
Yeah. You just lock it in and lock in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have it tilted any way you want. I mean, I know it's hard to see on screen. And it's like this bright lime green.
Okay.
But the thing is unbelievable. I mean, it's rock solid. You can be pounded on the computer and no problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not one problem at all. Now, going back to your wedding, Dwayne, was there a wedding coordinator involved with everything?
Yeah, that's what. That was the first time I worked with a wedding coordinator, but she was brand new. She did it as a favor for her friend, but it was a tough thing because I was trying to stay in my lane and respect her, her position, trying to work with her without being the know-it-all, and if I could like step in and try to still make things move without overstepping my boundary or trying to be like a Mr. Know-it-all kind of thing.
Well, first of all, I mean, I'm not harping on wedding coordinators. Some I've worked with, they are very talented. They are right on top of the game. They'll coordinate right with me soon as the bride and groom book her or book him. Some are male wedding coordinators, and I mean they're texting me or calling me. Hi, I'm so and so. I'm doing so and so's wedding. You're the DJ. Do you have any information from the bride and groom regards to their wedding, and what do I supply the bride and groom with? And I tell them, I said I supply them with a wedding planner, which gives me all the bridesmaids' names and the groomsmen's names and parents' names, what their special dances are, this, that, blah, 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 and going, so forth. And I mean, that one was awesome. He was a guy, and he knew his job, and he did it extremely, extremely well. Then you get some that, they come in and they decorate the hall, decorate the tables, and they consider themselves a wedding coordinator. That ain't a wedding coordinator. That's just somebody that's coming in and putting props up, basically. But they say wedding coordinator so they could charge a big price for it, and right then the bride and groom are getting ripped off, which I don't appreciate. And in all honesty, when it comes down to brass tacks, who do they look for all, how can you say it? They're looking for a direction to go. Like, oh boy, what do we do next? So they come to the DJ. What do you usually normally do? Every wedding's different. I've done weddings that they did everything right in the beginning. The introductions, parent dances. They did the cake cutting before meal was served. They did the Polish bridal dance. They did the fake send off. So everything was done, so they could party the rest of the night. Sit down, eat dinner, and just party the rest of the night, which is great because everything is done. Here in our area, photographers usually leave right after the cake cutting. Sometimes they'll stick around, maybe catch some pictures of people dancing. But honestly, by 7:30, they're out of here. That's it. And they do have a long day, the photographer, because they're at the bride's house, and they go over to the groom's, then back to the bride, then to the church, then to wherever they're going to go get the photos taken. And the wedding coordinator, that the last one I worked with, she was terrible. The one before that, she was terrible. She's the one who told me I did my introductions the wrong way, and I'm like, how long have you been doing this? This is my 9th wedding. I said, well, how do you do introductions? She goes, well, I send out the bride and groom first. I said, no. You, so I hate to tell you this. You did, this is your 9th wedding? Well, the first 8 you really messed up because the bride and groom are supposed to go last. And she's like, I never knew that. I'm like, oh boy. Well, you got a lot to learn. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. No ifs, ands, buts about that. As a wedding coordinator, if you want to be a wedding coordinator, call up some DJs. Go online. Look how they do introductions. Look at the format of a basic wedding. And yeah, there's weddings that can be changed up a little bit. And always prepare for somebody in the wedding party that, you know, you're ready to do introductions. Well, so-and-so has to go to the bathroom. I did one wedding, the grandparents were being introduced, and it was an African wedding, and the groom was African, the bride was American, but they were right from Africa, so they had all their garb on. So when he had to go to the bathroom, it took him a good 15 minutes to get in there, get all his garb off, do whatever he had to do, put everything back on, come back out online, and he was an elderly man, so it took him a little extra longer. So I just said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start this all over in a few minutes. We're going to go back to some yacht rock music or whatever I was playing, and then when we're ready to do introduction, I'll make the announcement. So everybody just, you know, okay, I didn't put any pressure on the grandparents or anybody in the bridal party. I didn't mention anything about the bridal party having something going on. It's just, no, hey, we're going to come back to the introductions in a few minutes. That's all. You know, and that wedding coordinator he's like, oh my God, Mike, you handled that situation like you wouldn't believe. I'm so happy you did that the way you did. I'm like, you got to do it that way. How else are you going to do it? And say, well, grandpa has to go to the bathroom? No. But wedding coordinators, honestly, most of them get paid more than the DJs get paid. And it's sad because we're the ones who are doing all the work. We're the ones who are chasing the photographer, telling the photographer that, all right, they're going to do this at this time, they're going to do this at this time, they're going to do this at this time. And then you want to make sure that when they say, okay, we do the introductions, they're all set. Then they go right to their first dance, they're ready for that. But they're like starting the cake cutting. That's when you have to give them a little guidance. And then especially if they're going to stay all night, all right, we're going to do the garter now, we're going to do the bouquet now. And a little bit later in the night, we're doing the post-bridal dance if we're doing a normal format. But we're the ones who are giving the guidance to the wedding coordinator who's telling the bride and groom, and he's telling or she's telling the photographers, and then sometimes they mess it up, and then again it's the DJ going and telling everybody like, hey, you have to be here, bride and groom, please stay together. Why? We're cutting the cake next. I don't want to have to go looking for both. He is, one's here, one's there. Please stay together for 5 minutes. We'll get this done. And if they rely on the DJ so much, but this wedding coordinator comes in and he's getting paid almost double. The one I worked with, the last one, got paid triple of what I got paid, and messed everything up. And who does it? The wedding coordinator doesn't look bad. It's the DJ that looks bad. He's like, oh my God, what's he doing? He's supposed to be doing the cake cutting and handing out something else. It's like, well, the wedding coordinator told the bride and groom something else than what I had told them. Who are they going to listen to? They're paying her triple of what they're paying me, so they're listening to her. But she never came back and told me that they made some switch ups in my plans. It's like, oh yeah. So I prefer not to work with a wedding coordinator. I'd rather be one-on-one to the couple, and let me be your wedding coordinator. I will make sure everything falls in the right place,
All right. So let's get into our let's cue it up and get started with our show. Our main topic again is called Streambusters, and we're going to talk about how we promote ourselves through video online. I try to do it, but sometimes it gets kind of hard to do that because, again, like the wedding Saturday, it's hard to think about recording videos, because that's why I don't do vlogs. I don't have time to sit and talk and narrate what I'm about to do and where we at and do this long, like some of the vlogs will have this long introduction and they do all this talking. I don't have time to do that. And then two, again, with my speech impediment that pops in and out, I don't want to like talk and then stumble over words and all that stuff. So I'd rather record. If I do the video, I just record it and then do like a narration over it. So how do you all handle videotaping or doing videos or to promote your DJing journey? So cool thing.
Well,
you're the hardest man on YouTube.
Well, it's very easy because I actually use my phone here, and this is the easiest device to record videos. Just open up the camera app on the phone and then start recording. And I'll actually, from now on, since I've been so used to doing like long vlog style videos, I'm gonna start doing more recap style videos where I'm just gonna record B-roll of the decorations, if it's a wedding, my setup, the dancing footage, and all put it together in an app called iMovie. This is how I get it out so soon before I even get home, because I actually have iMovie for iOS. I combine the clips into one big video and have the video uploaded while I'm going home, because I can do it all on my phone here.
Okay.
And yeah, it's very easy because it comes natural to me after being on camera for 31 years. We actually started out with VHS tapes and went to mini DV tapes, and then we went on to SD cards, and now my phone. So I'm kind of a natural when it comes to speaking and just it coming natural to vlog and take you guys throughout the day whenever I do a gig, even with it's like an unboxing, a how-to, a tip or trick video. And sometimes those are really hard for me because, it's just really hard to get out a point across and say what I need to say. So the easiest video for me is always the gig logs or live streams. Like I'm talking to you guys, it's like having a natural conversation.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. What about you, DJ Mikey Mike?
Well, I use my phone a lot, and I was like, last week I showed you the DJI product. You put your phone on it, and you could just square the bride out, and it'll actually move your phone to wherever the bride's at in that room. And even if people come in front of her, it still remembers where she's at, and as soon as they move or she moves, it zooms right back in on her. Then also I use the DJI Action 5. It's this little camera. This is amazing. It shoots 4K. It's great. I mean, you can't beat it.
Put it in front of your face or something, because when you hold it up on the side, because you got the background, it disappears.
How's that right now? I have it right in front of my face.
But of course, your screen froze right when you.
Oh boy.
Right, no, yep.
Okay, you have it right there. There we go. I mean, you can see how small that is. I mean, it's tiny.
Yeah, what is that?
It's the Action 5 Pro.
Wow.
That's a GoPro?
I mean, no. DJI.
Oh, okay.
Action 5. Mm-hmm. Then also, I use. Let me just put this one down. That thing is you could drop it whatever you want. It's a workhorse. I mean, it's really built solid. Then I also use this one here, and to me, this reminds me of E.T. Doesn't it? It looks just like E.T. in my eyes. Then you flip this screen, and all of a sudden it's going to come back. It's going to face me, and it's going to go right to record. So I'm just going to, the head turns right around on it. And again, you could circle or square out the bride or the groom, whoever we want to keep the camera on. And this head also, right here, this head will actually follow the bride and groom around, or whoever you have scored in there, like you wouldn't believe. I mean, it's truly amazing how far they have come with technology, with cameras. I mean, they're unbelievable. As for doing gig logs, very, very rarely do I have the opportunity of doing a gig log. There are certain venues that, I can't say certain venues, there's one venue that will allow me to come the night before, R&D Memories, and now Amber Pals, if they have nothing going on the night before, they too will allow me to come set up, which is great. I'd rather go the night before, get it all set up, do my sound checks, everything. If I'm not doing a ceremony, they're having a ceremony done somewhere else, and the reception starting at 5 o'clock, I'm there about, usually they're opening the doors at 4:30, 4:45, because if they open up any earlier, guests they want to come in, and it's like, nope, sorry, you can't come in. So if I get there at 4:30, usually the manager's there or the bartender's there, and they want to meet me, and then unlock the door and lock it back up. But again, how much you can get done because you want to get your music back on, because in 10 minutes they're opening up the doors, and you want the guests to walk into a hall that has music on. You don't want them to walk into nothing at all. I mean, dead air is the worst thing for a DJ. I don't care if it's prior to the what do you call it, the wedding, or even if it's a graduation party. If it's prior to the graduation party, when the guests are arriving, music should be already filling the air. They walk into a space that's dead air, forget about it. It's just like, wow, like there's a guy up there, but he's not playing no music. So what's going on here? Yeah, you always want to have the live music. But going back to the gig logs, I wish I could get them done. Because the night before when I'm setting up, they say, all right, Mike, come down at 8 o'clock. Well, if they wanted to get out of there by 9 o'clock, so you have an hour to get everything in, set up, and have your either pack your car back up or put the stuff in a closet and it's out of the way so nobody could see it. So you're trying to get all this done in an hour. It's so hard to do a gig log. I see thousands of videos on YouTube that they're doing a gig log, DJ bar, you name it. Basically, every DJ is doing a gig log. I don't know how. I mean, granted, they may be in an area that the venue allows them to come in early, and also usually a lot of DJs have one or two guys going with them. At least it's the DJ and another gentleman or a woman. Sometimes it's the DJ and two people. That lightens up your load a lot, and it means a lot, so you can get more done then. Yeah, you could do a gig log, you could do so much more, so when you're a solo op like us guys, guess what? We are it, and our main focus is the wedding, the graduation party, whatever the event is. That's our main focus. Gig log, that's way down the ladder. Let's entertain the people, make sure they're happy.
All right, it's funny listening because your voice is coming through, and then with the video that I'm showing of you, it's like it's not matching up. So it's like we have to wait and see if you're finished. But
Oh,
anyway,
I'm sorry about that.
yep, but that's the kind of problem I have because I have tons of video footage, but I just don't have time to edit it down. But I have found a way to get it done quicker. So hopefully, by the end of the night, you will gain some pointers on how to easily record your gigs and be able to edit quicker. But I will have to say this: it's not free and it's not cheap. So it'll be hard to do. And then for those that constantly do gig vlogs and all that, they have a camera person with them that does specifically get these shots, and then they go and do their social media for them, and then edit the videos for them.
Yes, yes. Did you see DaVinci Resolve came out with? They had a new update today for all AI audio and some other AI stuff. They are going so far, it's unbelievable now. I mean, it's truly amazing how technology is taking out. I mean, it's unbelievable. I hate to see where we're going to be 10 years from now.
Mm. Yep.
But I still make my gig logs the old-fashioned way with my phone, edit with iMovie, and just upload it.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
So you don't do anything on your computer?
Well, I don't. No.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to gig logs, I just edit right there on my phone.
But you can do that because one thing I can give you credit for, all your gig vlogs, and I wish I can do that. You can turn on your camera and just go. And so
Yeah.
it seems like you doing it all in one take, whereas I have to think about it or I get self-conscious. So that's the one thing I can give. Your videos seem like it would be easy to go from one thing to the other because you'd be like, hey, what's up, YouTube? This is DJ Cool Thing here with another gig vlog. And then you go and you talk about your setup, and then it's almost like you doing it all in one take. So it comes natural for you.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the one thing around here too is 90% of the venues have at least 2 flights of steps you got to go up.
Mhm.
Or if they don't have that, you have 2 long ramps. And if you lay them down, it's probably about close to a football field if you're walking with your equipment on a cart. So by the time you get into the venue, you're winded, and you're like, the sweat, especially now in the summertime, the sweat's pouring off you, and there's no way you want to put a camera on yourself at that point in time,
Yeah, but there's a way you can do it, and I should have brought maybe if you once you all start maybe doing. I know you're gonna tell another story, so maybe during your story time, maybe during your story time, I can run and grab.
We're gonna go for 2.5 hours tonight, aren't we?
We're gonna try not to. We're gonna keep it moving because we kind of like touched upon a lot of the different things in each one of the segments, so we can pretty much breeze through it. But the first segment was vlog versus live stream. What is the difference? So real quick, we kind of like talked about vlogging. And vlogs to me is like a video diary. It's where you show a lot of behind the scenes kind of things and you talk about what's going on. So that's more like a interactive kind of thing going on with your audience, even though they're not there with you. It's almost like you're talking to them as if they're along with you on your gig. A live stream is what we're doing right now, which is totally different. There's a couple of things that you need to do for each one. One is easier to do than the other. And in your opinion, let's go around the circle again. Live stream or vlog, Cool Thing?
Well, a vlog is basically what you said. It's a video diary, and it's a video blog going through the day, showing the setup, the dancing footage, maybe the decorations. if it's a wedding, and a vlog is basically what or a live stream is basically what we're doing right now. We're talking to each other, we're connecting with one another, and we're just having a conversation like if we were talking to one another in person.
All right. So which one do you think is easier for you to do? The vlog
Well,
or live stream?
they're both really easy to make. But with a live stream, you're just doing it one take and you have multiple clips for a vlog, as opposed to a live stream where it's just one solid take.
Okay.
And it's unedited, uncut, and it's like anything that happens on the stream stays on the stream. But with a vlog, you can actually edit certain parts out that you didn't mean to put in there, and it all goes in the vlog once it's perfected.
So so basically a vlog is something that you record and then
edit.
you edit and then you upload to YouTube.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
a live stream is something that goes directly to
Yeah.
YouTube or Facebook or
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
Okay, DJ Mikey Mike, what about you? Which one is easier for you to do, a live stream or a vlog?
Well, a live stream is easier because you don't have to edit anything. It's just going boom from your camera right to YouTube, Facebook, whatever social media platform you're on. But the thing you have to remember, you gotta watch your language. You gotta watch how you're addressing people. You gotta address the venue, how you're making statements about them. And then also you gotta watch that cursing. Sometimes something might get you peed off that somebody put something where it wasn't supposed to be lying. You may slip and say something. Now that's not a strike against you, but makes you look a little bit bad. A vlog, you could slip up as many times as you want, but you're going back in and editing the video, and then you're posting it. And you could edit it to make it look like a movie. You have so much now that you can do with the software. You can make the venue look exquisite. You can make your setup look exquisite. You could do everything and anything you want to do, and it looks fabulous. You could do slow motion. You could speed it up if you want to a little bit. You could correct the sound. Because when you're doing a live stream, it's just raw. You have the DJI mic or whatever type of microphone you're using. That does give you great quality. No ifs, ands, buts about that. But when you bring it up in Wondershare, or if you bring it up in whatever software you're using, I have iMovie, whatever, DaVinci Resolve, you can get in there and really tweak the audio. It sounds like it's coming from the studio. So again, and then one other thing, you could be live streaming right from the reception. And if you have a recorder, you could plug that into your mixer, and you're getting the sound that's coming right out of your system. So you don't have to worry about the other sound, that it's not being distorted, nothing. But what I noticed a lot of DJs do is they still like to record using the microphone, but also using the recorder, so they get some of that ambient noise in the background. And then their video doesn't get a strike by YouTube because people are talking over the music. So that's the strong points about doing a live stream. But there's a lot of strong points about doing a vlog too, because you get to change up everything if you want to. You could have a black eye, you go in there, you could touch yourself up that you don't have no more black eye. So there's a lot you could do when you're doing a vlog. So both more beneficial, but a vlog takes a lot longer to do.
Definitely. Especially if you're doing a live stream at a gig, that gets you hit with a copyright strike. But when you edit a vlog, you can actually remove the sound altogether and put background music, like in a recap video, and it doesn't get hit with copyright because you're using, especially if you're coming from the YouTube audio library, it's licensed by YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. Cool thing. If you're using a recorder, right, you're plugging that into your mixer, so you're getting the music right from your mixer, right? It's just pure audio. And then you have your microphone on you, like say if you have the DJI or the newer microphones, you have that on you. So when you're releasing that video live stream, you're also releasing the audio from your microphone and also the audio from your recorder, and it's going right live stream, but you are getting some of that ambient noise in the background. So 9 times out of 10, you won't get a strike against you because there's people talking over the music. It's different than picking up your phone and recording it, because if you just hit record on your phone, you just pick up the music right from the speaker. Then definitely you're going to get a strike on again.
Yeah, that's basically what I do. I don't have any microphones or anything. I don't have anything fancy like that. I just have my phone.
Yeah.
And I just hit record.
But I'm fortunate to have a recorder, but again, when do I get a chance to use it? Very, very little. But the thing is, if I need it, I have it. There's just, like I said, technology is already, it's like 5 years ahead of where we're at right now. Yeah. If we had other people with us, it would make our job so much easier. But then when you start adding people with you to do this or do that, then your price has to go up for DJing a wedding, for DJing a graduation party, DJing a 50th anniversary, 25th anniversary, whatever it should be. And then you have to pay these people. They want a nice paycheck for what they're doing, because they are professional in what they're doing, So we're professional with our DJ system, and they're hiring us, and we're like, actually, they're a subcontractor for us. We're hiring them. How about you, Wayne? What do you do, buddy?
All right.
Yeah.
So you finished?
Yep, you have your 360, right?
Okay. Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. So, but the question was, which one do you find easier to do for you?
For me, honestly, the live stream.
Okay.
Because I try to watch what I say, and try to pronounce names correctly, and I know basically every venue I'm at because I've been there multiple times. So live streaming is a lot easier. And how can I say, if I want to make something really superb, then I'll do a vlog of it.
Mm. All right. To me, I like doing the video part, not necessarily vlogging. I like record. It's easier for me to record and then just put the videos all together, because I gotten real good at that. Because live streaming, it's a lot of extra stuff that you got to do to make sure that the sound is right, making sure the internet connection is stable. Then you got to also make sure, again, since we're using copyrighted material, making sure that you're not starting off and then, like with Facebook, as soon as they hear it, you're shut down. So you would be lucky if you get 30 to a minute on Facebook Live. So with YouTube, you may get away with it, but you still run that risk. So to me, I'm thinking just doing a video and then editing it later is better. It's easier or more consistent. And so since we got that Ghostbuster theme for the night, let's our first myth busted. Let's see, what do you all think? This is the myth. Live streams and vlogs are the same thing. Yes or no?
No.
No.
Nope. So we just busted that myth. Live streams and vlogs are not the same thing. Remember, live streams, it is what it is. So you going live and you do it, no rehearsals. You going off the top of your head, or you could practice it, but if you mess up, it's there for everyone to see. Whereas a video, you can do fancy editing and a lot of extra stuff. So let's head on to our third the third segment is all about gear and what do we use to stream or do our vlogs or videos. All right, anybody want to go first, or you?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Well, I've already said this earlier in the live stream. I use my phone. I use iMovie for iOS or maybe the Mac. If I want to do like longer videos, maybe more advanced editing, I can go to the Mac version of iMovie by connecting the USB-C cord to my Mac and then import the videos directly to iMovie and then have it uploaded to YouTube. But I mainly use the iMovie for iOS app. I'm gonna start using this feature called Magic Movie, where it'll automatically take the video clips and put them into a video, and I could put a sound attached to it from either iMovie or from the YouTube audio library. That's how I'm gonna do my vlogs from now on. So I use my phone and iMovie for iOS or Mac.
So that AI feature is in iMovies now, or is that something separate?
Yeah, it's something separate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I like. That's why I was going back to the thing where the statement that was made earlier about having a bunch of video and going back and editing. A lot of the software now have this AI feature where you drop in. A lot of the cameras actually has it too, where it take a long video clip and it can go through and find key moments for you. I know that I have an Instant 360, so the Instant 360 software would go through and create it's about 30-40 different clips of different sizes. It could be as small as a 3-second video clip onto the length of whatever the clip is, and it can create bunch of different clips highlights that you can put together to make one long clip. And then Buddy says he also uses the DaVinci Resolve.
Yep. How you like that, Buddy? Are you using the paid version or the free version?
I have it. I use the free version. Because I use it mainly because it can do edit the 360 videos.
Yes. Yeah,
so that's
it
why
does a great job with them.
Yep.
Did you see about CapCut today?
Nope.
And, well, CapCut, Adobe Premiere, there is an end user license agreement, and I don't care if you pay for the subscription or not, they get the final award, what they're going to do with that video. Say you upload it to TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and they see something that they like and they want to use it for, say Pepsi got in contact with them and said, listen, we want something that, somebody's drinking a Pepsi or drinking a soda, and we don't care if it's Pepsi or Coke, as long as the label's blacked out, and 2 or 3 people are drinking it. Next thing you know, you see the video you shot of these 3 people drinking the soda now. That's your video that CapCut got paid for, and there isn't a blessed thing you could do about it, because that's one of the end users license agreement, something like that, that you basically signing every video that you use their software for, it goes right to them, and they are the actual owner of it completely. Then there's I didn't know this either. CapCut owns TikTok.
Okay.
Or both of them are owned by the same company, something like that.
Yeah, ByteDance out in China.
Yeah.
And your computer, or you coming back? I was going to say your computer just.
Mine?
Yep.
Basically, if TikTok gets banned, then their whole company gets banned here in the U.S. as well. So we have to really be careful with CapCut and TikTok or anything made by ByteDance.
Yeah, I mean it's the thing is like, you're creating this video and you're uploading to whatever social platform you're open on. It could be your.
Yeah, you're echoing again, so I don't know what happened.
Okay. That one better. If I don't care to your platform.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you also for the computer screen, can you call it something or add something to it? DJ Mikey Mike, and put something there so I know which one to mute and unmute and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think when you cut out and came back on, it mic opened up again.
Oh, that's live streaming for you. You
Yep.
all the technical issues.
And then with your phone, unmute your phone. I'm gonna mute this.
Okay. There we go. My phone's unmuted.
All right, let me try to mute your computer.
Okay.
All right, keep talking.
All right.
All right, that's doable. It's not.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care what platform you upload it to. Use CapCut software. You can upload it to your own social media, to your own Facebook, and you can upload it to your own website. Somehow they get, I guess, I don't know how that happens, but they get the knowledge of this video, and they can see. I guess they can see the video. Boom! They have all the rights to it. You can't stop them. It's shocking what they can do. How I found out, there's a gentleman who does he's a vlogger and is vlogging for over 40, but he's over 60, and he brought this to people's attention today because a lot of people are using CapCut because it's for free, and he said, don't use it, please stop using CapCut. He said, don't use Adobe Premiere because they have the same end license or end user's license, whatever the heck it's called, agreement. They too are allowed to use your video in anything they want to.
Okay, wait a minute. Buddy said he uses the paid version of DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
And then he has said you're cutting out because you're using a Mac. But
no, I'm on my PC.
I was going to say,
buddy, I'm on my Lenovo.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to type because I was like, no, he's using a PC. Us Mac people are me and Cool Thing are using a Mac, and you see, we're not having issues.
Next week I'm going to be on my Mac. I guarantee you.
Okay.
Right.
Because this is too much. I just got a sign that came up. My internet is like fluctuating back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we lost the internet. Yesterday, from 10:30 11 o'clock at night to 6:30 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So we had no TV, no internet, nothing.
Okay. And Buddy has sent a picture, and I guess he uses his phone too. I used to use a phone, and that was kind of tricky with me because I'll bring multiple phones. So because I wanted to get a picture of the dance floor, and then I also wanted to use the phone to look at me DJing so I can put the two clips together. But as again, using especially an iPhone, you are limited to whatever space is on that particular iPhone. So it's not like an Android phone where you can put in an external a micro SD card and swap it out. So that's where I was limited at.
Well, with an iPhone, like I go through Verizon,
Mm-hmm.
and I have, I think, 20 terabyte or 200 terabyte. I mean, everything I record, even pictures that I take, I look at the storage on my phone. I have all this storage on my phone, but everything goes right up to the cloud for me. So I have no problems there at all. So that's way to get around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do no cloud things. I heard of too many people that had that stuff get
Stuff up in the
not
cloud
not
and
taken. They have it automatically go into the cloud because once you put things on the internet, anybody can hack and see stuff. And there's so many people that have their personal pictures or risque pictures that go to the cloud and then they get leaked. So that's why I don't use that feature because I do not want anything going up that I don't have control of. So
with iCloud, it's private. I think it's mostly triggered towards Google, the Google Drive, the Google Photos, pretty much everything. It's mostly Google because with Apple, it's very, very private and no one can get into it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, PCs don't go up to iCloud. PCs go to whatever cloud they go to.
OneDrive.
Apple has their security is second to none. And I'm not knocking PCs. I mean, PCs are great. This Lenovo is a great machine. I don't know what's going on. The last couple of weeks has just been trashy. I have no idea what the hell's going on. What's going on with it? You're gonna have to edit that out. I'm gonna try to hardwire it maybe next week. I just have to run a wire over to my son's room because that's where the router's at, and see what happens then. I just can't understand because the speed is phenomenal on this thing. Like the upload speed and download speed is unbelievable. It's actually quicker than my Mac, and that's unbelievable too.
I'm going to say that's rule number one. You got to if you're doing a live stream, you got to hardwire. You can't don't ever try to do it wires. I mean, using the Wi-Fi on your computer. You have to make sure it's precise, especially if you're the one that's doing your like a mix show live streaming. It has to be. You should have two computers. Wherever computer that you're streaming from should be hardwired because it's guaranteed. And then if you're DJing and you're using a laptop, don't try to DJ and stream from the same laptop because then you putting extra stress down and that'll mess up your stream too.
Yes, I don't stream music at all when I'm DJing, and that's one of my.
No, it's not. It's not stream. No, it's not stream music. I'm saying if you're doing a mixed show, that means you're videotaping. Like people go to Twitch and show them DJing a set. You putting too much on your computer, so you should have. If you're using a computer, a laptop, your laptop you should have one for just DJing, and then have your external like camera or like I use this. Have your webcam, have that going to your second computer that's hardwired to your Ethernet router, and then therefore you have a more reliable system. Because just like anything wirelessly, it'll drop.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't understand what's going on with this because we did time to spin with it. We had no problems with it. We started our show. We had no problems with it. And now it's just the last couple of weeks. It's just been glitching out bad.
But at the same time, I don't know what kind of setup you had for time to spin. But remember when we started our show, you went and added those extra plugins.
They added
the extra plugins for your mic. So I don't know if it's something there.
Rolling. Let me switch this around again. Let's see.
So thinking of going back to equipment, you can use your cell phone. You can get decent sound with your cell phone, but if you want that clear sound to be like right there, there's some extra stuff that you need to buy in order to get direct sound from either when you're talking or from your controller or mixer. So the music and the sound sound like it's right there, and you won't get that roomy sound. Buddy uses this with his mobile device. It's from Sennheiser. It's the MKE 400. And let me go up, and he uses this boom mic.
Okay.
And I have several. Yeah, I don't have that kind of money to spend on that one. Anything like that.
I'll show you the microphone I use.
I use this kind of boom mic from Rhodes. Let me see if I can get it. A long arm, and then also a short one from Rhodes.
Is this for live streaming when you're doing the wedding? Is that what he's using?
I'm gonna assume.
Okay. Why
don't we ask him?
Buddy.
Hey buddy, do you use this mic for when you're live streaming or when you're doing your weddings? And he's usually like a minute or so behind. Also, but lately I had upgraded my mic system to the what is this? The Rhodes Wireless Go 2s. So I have 2 of them. So therefore, if I have another person and we can talk, and what I like about it, you can either, when it goes to the transmitter, you can have the transmitter to either receive both sounds and they be mixed together, or you can have it where mic 1 is on one track, mic 2 is on another track, and it records it internally. So when you plug it into your device, whether it's your laptop, your phone, or your camera, it also record those audios, and then therefore if you want to edit the tracks individually, you can do that. So that's what I like. And again, for most of my gigs lately, I've been using the X5, and I also have the X3.
They're both fabulous cameras.
Yeah, X3. If you have the X3, they are not made to be run continuously, because that's what I used to do. I used to turn them on, I leave it, and they'll get hot. You might get away with it 1 gig, 2 gigs, but after a while, you're gonna end up burning your motherboard. So this is a replacement, because I burned out my motherboard by having it run. So, but with the X5, it's made, if you can see, there's like little grooves, so the heat can disperse better. And this one I can leave running and I won't have any issues. But there's a thing on the side, and it's an adapter that you can run your audio into. So you can plug it in directly into it, or if I'm doing a vlog and want to talk, I can clip this on and the sound will come in right here, and it won't be that roomy distant sound when I use this. And I also picked up this when I did the junior prom. It's magnetic, and since my DJ booth is steel, I can just plop it right here. And with this camera, I also like it because it's small and it blends into my setup, so people don't know that there's a camera there running. And I can have it set where the lights and this is black or go out after a certain amount of time, so therefore they don't even know it's on. And so I just use my remote to start and stop the recording, and it lets me know whether or not the recording is on. So that's how I can tell whether it's running or not, and how much room I have left on my SD card. So those are some of the...
I'm going to show you what I use.
Okay.
Okay, now I got to get close to your camera here, because it's this little thing right here. I'll bring it down here by my shirt, if you can see it.
Yep.
It's as big as the tip of my thumb.
Okay.
It's the DJI Mic Mini. and I have two of them. I think they were $69 or $99. I think 69. And that that microphone is amazing. I mean, you could put, like, if you're using the Pocket 3, or if you're using the Action Pro 5, you can walk 300 feet away from it. It picks up as clear as could be. It's true. It's amazing. I can't believe the sound from that. Now there is the Mic 2, which also is 32-bit float. So if you're recording, you could record on that, and also it records on your, say you're using the Osmo Pocket 3, it'll record on the Osmo Pocket 3, and it'll also record on your microphone. That one is just a little bit bigger, that microphone, but it has the 32-bit float in it. So if you lose it in the camera, it's going to be on your microphone. If you lose on the microphone, it's going to be on your camera. So that is another amazing microphone. But you look at that little square, it's only maybe an inch and an eighth by inch and an eighth. That's it. I mean, that's all there is to it. And the sound quality of that is amazing, truly amazing. And like you said, I don't have the money to go out and buy a Sennheiser. I don't know. I've seen a lot of other products that the quality is as good, sometimes if not better, than the more expensive product. So my old famous saying is, all that glitters isn't gold. So you can buy this big product that says, yeah, we're going to do this, and we can do it, and it does it. But then this other product comes out and says, well, we could do what Sennheiser or what Shure does, but we do it just a little bit better. And guess what? They do it. It's like, oh my God, wow. And I just saved myself $700, you know? Did I lose you guys again?
Yep, your computer, I don't know what's going on with your computer.
The storms are coming through again. It came up on my phone that we're expecting severe thunderstorms, lightning, this and that. It's been never ending since 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning.
Yep. And as you can see, these are the cons that we have to deal with live streaming. But speaking about sounds, there's some other things to think about when you're trying to get good sound. Also, I want to shout out Will. Will is in the chat. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Willie.
Yep, and we gotta he's another old guest from the Cue It Up, not Cue It Up, Time to Spin show.
And
Yep. So we gotta get Will on the show.
Willie's not too far from me. He's up in the Poconos, and he said nasty today, and he works down here in the valley, and it has been nasty. I mean, roads are flooding out, everything. It's unbelievable. I'm like, oh man, I lost you guys again.
This is kind of fitting since we got the Ghostbusters theme going on.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe next week I should just stream from my phone. I may be better off, you know.
Yep. Just maybe put it up, because I remember when I used to start doing YouTube videos. My first internet troll would talk about, yeah, I wish you would put the camera up, because we don't want to look up your nose. So when you do your camera, put it up so we're not looking up your nose when you do it.
Yeah, that's a bad thing about a camera. Well, okay, going back with the phone. I mean, not the camera. With the phone, with that new DJI, the one that I showed you last week. You put your phone on it. There is a new sensor on it that allows you to record from the front camera, and you could hold up the peace sign. I forget if that stops it. Yeah, that makes it go. You could hold up the stop, like your hand like this to stop. That'll stop the video. You get out in front of the camera, and it starts tracking you immediately. And then, I mean, it's like you have a cameraman behind your phone, and there's nobody there except for you and the phone.
Because I have a DJI Spark drone, so it sounds like those are the same kind of features that's on the drone, where you got the hand gesture features to do the camera and stuff as well.
Yeah, they make amazing products. They've been around for a long time now, and it's quality workmanship put into this product. And you know, it's like they say they specifically would, I guess they have a team that works on the stuff for the phones, and they have people that work on just their cameras. They have people that just work on their microphones. It's not like, okay, yeah, we are one big company, but we're not. They're mass producing stuff, but this factory is just making the microphones. This factory is just making the stuff for the phones. This company's making the action cameras, and this other one is making just the Osmo Pocket 3s. That is a great camera. Only downfall is they call it a pocket camera. It's not truly a pocket camera. Yeah, you can slide it in your pocket, but it is very, very delicate. So if you do buy one, be very careful with it. I mean, the footage off it's amazing, truly amazing. And again, like I say, you just draw that square around somebody, it's just following. It's amazing. The technology is amazing. Well, as you know, with your 360 too, I mean, it's how they get a camera to, you know, it's recording on both sides. The only downfall I don't like about the when you have the 360, you have a little bit of a fisheye lens in it. Supposedly DJI is coming out with one, and they were saying there's not going to be no fisheye in it. So how are they going to do that? I have no idea.
No, actually,
no idea.
No, actually, it records it like you have the fisheye because you get the 360 thing, but if you record it as a regular MP4, it's a regular thing. But within the software, you can keep the ultra wide with the fisheye, and I forget what the mega, I think it's mega wide, and then you can get the linear one, so you can adjust the fisheye and all that. So so it's not that, but I do like it because it's a 360 again. It was hard for me because I was always missing that moment on the dance floor because I was trying to save space when I was using my cell phone, try to save space on the cell phone and hitting record and not record. With the 360, you get everything, so therefore I can keep it running. So if something happens on the floor, I won't miss it because I can tell the camera to focus there. And then also, if I'm doing something here, if I'm doing a transition, I want to focus on my transition, I can automatically just focus back around. It's almost like having somebody there going backwards and forth. So that's what I like about it. But go ahead.
Another camera I use too is the Sony ZV-1. Great camera, great footage, pictures amazing. Only downfall is the battery life is about 20 to 25 minutes. There is a plug, you can plug it right directly into your computer, which then it'll stay on, continuously. But again, you're putting stress on your computer. I think you can't plug it into like a brick that goes into a regular plug. But again, now you're strapped with it because that cable's only so long. So you can't just pick it up and go somewhere with it, like with the Action 5 Pro or the Pockets, where you could just pick it up and go. And how is it, the Horizon belts? You could actually turn that camera up to a 45-degree angle, and it keeps the horizon level. It doesn't switch it at all. It's amazing. It's like, how's this technology this way? But it is.
So going back to cool things, I don't want to leave you out. So when you're doing your gig vlogs, are you the one that's doing this, or do
Yeah.
you use a selfie stick, or how do you?
Well, I actually do like this, or like this if I'm using the back-facing camera.
Mm-hmm.
And
So I was
my
going to say, what about at your gigs?
actual, yeah, huh?
Like when you're at your gigs and you're DJing and all that, you doing that too?
Yeah. I'm doing that too. Yeah, I'm pretty much doing everything.
Okay. And then Will sounds just like me. He says no matter how early he gets to a gig, he never has time to record a gig log, and that's me all the way. But see, I kind of like got around that because I had picked up one of these for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I try to put these on my VR glasses, my Meta Ray-Bans, and hit record as I'm doing stuff so I can at least get some beef footage. So that's how I can get around that. Also, he had asked if you was hardwired, and I told him no, because we had just talked about that.
Yeah. I seen Buddy's comment there. Your laptop can't work with Sony and DJI. Buddy, what do you mean by that, bud?
What? Oh, you can't work the Sony and DJ.
Well, I mean, they're both cameras, so yeah, they work independently. I'm not trying to work both in through the computer. I work them both independently, and the only problem is like the Sony battery life goes down on it so quick. I have 8 batteries for it, so it's just like, you try to keep them cycled. That you take one out, you put it right into the charger, and you take one out. Battery goes there, you take that out, put it in the charger. You just try to keep the cycle going, and you want to make sure you remember what battery you put in first. So what I did to that, I have one case I take with me. I put 1, 2, 3. So if that battery dies, I take one out, put it in the camera. I put the dead battery into the number 1. That one dies, I take it out. I take battery 2 out. I put that into the camera until I get around to back to number 1 again.
Yeah,
It doesn't take long for them to charge up, but still, it's just the idea. They built something that, Sony, and I paid enough for that camera. It was like $900 for that camera.
Whoa.
But yeah, it was expensive, and even till today, it's holding its own. It's not $900 yet, but it's still like $450. I've seen a couple of them like at $525, and I'm like, wow, that really held its price, and it's probably about 10 years old already.
Mm-hmm. But Buddy was saying that he also uses the camera and the boom mic for. Let me see. I thought he said ceremonies because he don't do gig vlogs. Let me see. I saw it and I should be able to keep up with it. It's not like I'd be like Case or Not and all of them where the comments in the chat just be going and I can't keep up.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw, Will said cheaper tech is getting more reliable. Yup.
Very much.
The prices is coming down, period, on them.
Yes. Yes.
I thought Buddy said something about ceremonies. He said what he used it. Let me go back. Glad work. The same one I used on the phone. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe that was Will I saw that said ceremony. He used it for ceremonies or whatever. But going back to another thing that I also use when my camera is sit still when I was streaming, like doing our church service during the pandemic. I bought the iRig. This is a good one to have, inexpensive one. I think it's about between $60 or $80. And what this one does, it has 3 different cords. You have one with the iPhone FireWire, the one with that you can plug into your laptop or computer, and then a USB-C that'll work with the newer computers. And that's a good one to have because also there's lights that will tell you whether the signal that the audio signal that you're getting is either too low and you can just turn it up and adjust it so it can hit green, or if it's too hot where it goes red, you can turn it back. So this is a neat one to have if you want to get sound directly into your camera. But if you're at a gig and you DJing and you want to get that ambience like what DJ Mikey Mike has said, you use the mic on your camera to record the audio, but at the same time, you can either record your DJ set within your DJ software, or you can use the Reloop 2, because I think Kulte has that.
Yeah, I have the first one that I can plug in a USB stick.
Yep. I have the first one, but I got the second one because I'm trying to think. I think you can use this without plugging it in. It's powered off a USB. You can do both, or I think you can do this USB. So yeah, that's why I ended up getting this one, and I didn't like the fact that I had like the stick sticking out. You can just use a micro card. So
yeah, I actually like the first one because I can plug in the USB stick to my USB-C adapter, and I can plug in my Mac and upload the audio to anywhere I want to put it.
Yep.
Like Mixcloud.
And what's good about AI being in the software now, because I know in Wondershare for sure, now you can take the audio that's recorded on your external recording device, then take the audio from your video, click, and when you drag it into the timeline, you can highlight both the audio file and the audio from the video, and then tell AI to match it up. So it automatically syncs up. So it's not like you have to listen to both and manually put it there. It'll automatically link up for you. So that saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
And then,
That's what the DJI, as soon as you take it out of the case and you press the power button on the microphone and the camera's on, it's an automatic link up. There's no, you have to hit the Bluetooth button. It just automatically pairs with it instantly.
Yep.
And that's nice.
Yep. And again, I use this magnet to kind of like hold my camera in place. Also, I used to have like a clamp, and it had like a stick that I can like put my camera or phone. If I had a phone adapter, put my phone in there, slide my phone in there, and then screw this on top. So therefore it attached to my booth, and that's how I get all of my shots. But
there's not. I hate to jump back in. There's nothing like using your phone. I mean, it's right there. It's at your fingertips. You're capturing footage for the couple, for yourself. I mean, there's so much more not much more you could do with it. It's very limited, actually. If you look at footage from a camera from my phone and look at footage from an action camera or like the 360, the depth of field is unbelievable.
And I found that comment I was looking for. Buddy says he uses his camera for shooting gig logs.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But as far as doing live stream, if you really want to get complicated, or like when I was doing my mix show, when I'm using my controllers, I have an external mixer. And what I like about this Mackie Pro FX6 is that I can use it as a standalone mixer, and because it has the XLR ins and then XLR out. But the main thing is I can use it as an audio adapter. I can plug it into my computer with the USB. Also, I have this audio interface unit, old one when I used to do beats and stuff. That's another way you can get audio into your computer. when you live
Yeah.
streaming from your computer, make sure you get that sound if you're playing instruments or playing with your controller. So that's enough of the gear talk. So let's get to the next one. We're going to try to zip through the rest of this. Oh, the myth. Let's bust this myth. You need expensive gear to look professional.
Nope.
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
And nope. Yep. And you can see, you can just use your phone.
Yeah.
And then, as Will said earlier, everything is coming down in price, and it's more economic and affordable. And Will uses Wondershare. Yeah, Wondershare has a lot to offer, but it's just, I hate that. I hate everything is going to the subscription thing. That's the only downside I hate about it.
Yeah, that killed me with Wondershare. I love it. I haven't for my Mac yet. I had purchased that years and years ago, and they honored it that it's still basically, I bought it, it's mine. They won't support it from this last upgrade, and going forward. But the sad thing is, like, all the stuff that, not gonna say all the stuff, 90% of the stuff that was free is not now free. So you're starting to look for transitions, you're looking for this or that, you can't find them. And it's like, where the heck did they put them? Well, they're still there, but they have like a little star around it or whatever, like a ponytail, and it's just, you click on it, you're like, oh, good, I got a good transition, and then you play back the video and the transition ain't there. It's like, what happened to it? Well, I didn't notice that little tiny icon off to the side, that little ponytail or that little star, that little half moon or whatever, because they have all these little different type of things that they have off to the side. I was watching a video from Daniel Vittel, and he was talking about that. He wasn't one of the biggest people for sponsored for Wondershare, and then they got rid of him, and he's over with DaVinci Resolve now. And he said, you go and you look at their stuff, their transitions, their whatever that they have these tiny little hidden icons off to the side, and you can't see them until you make that transition. Then you don't see the transition in your video, then you go back to it, then you click on the transition, and then it'll open up and it'll say, well, this transition is no longer free. It costs X amount of dollars to use it, or you could buy it. But I don't know how many times you can use it from when you buy it. Everything to them now is a subscription-based product. I mean, everything, right down to the last nook and cranny on them. They want you to pay for everything. It's just sad. I mean, it's just a big money market game for them. They're figuring out people want to use it, they're going to pay for it. That's sad.
So let's get down. That was 2 stories.
Man, I always go forward with that. You know that. I want to make the show last longer.
You did make it last longer. We only got halfway through because remember you came in late, and then we had to deal with your technical thing. So I'm gonna skip because the next part was supposed to be the challenges and pitfall.
Oh.
And so we basically showed you what happens between the two. When you're doing live stream, we already showed you the challenges and pitfalls. So I'm not going to go into depth about that. But let's jump to the mind. We kind of already talked about mindset. The mindsets. And let me just ask you this then. How do you do your videos? Is it more spontaneous, or do you think of the concept and then record accordingly? So you can go through things since you're the guest.
Well,
I just get my thoughts ready.
I just do it spontaneous. I don't really think, like, especially when I'm doing a gig log. I'm focusing on DJing, and when I just record, I just hit record and just let the video do its thing. And whatever is happening during the night, I'm going to record.
Okay. Because I just
do it spontaneous.
Yep, that's what I like about your videos. That's why that's why I always watch your videos, because it seems like you don't. It's natural. It's like you.
Yeah.
It's not
Natural. Yeah.
right. So that's what I like about your videos. And then what were you going to say, Mikey Mike? One story.
Oh no, this is a drawn out one here. No.
What?
It's a drawn out story here now.
Oh damn, we gotta come back to you. We got
No, it's not spontaneous. I do plan it out, like for a wedding. I pick out where the introductions are going to be. Again, I use my phone for that. This is before those other cameras came out, and I draw a square, and the bride walks into it and it follows it. Like, the first bridesmaids walks into it and it follows her. Then it'll go back and it'll pick up the next one, and then it'll pick up the bride and groom. Once it picks up the bride and groom, that's when I grab the camera and then I draw another square around it, and then I just let it record. And from that point on, it's...
No, the question was, do you, because it sounds like you think you plan what you're going to shoot.
I do plan what I'm going to shoot, yes.
Okay.
I'm planning what I'm going to start off with, but then after that it goes right into spontaneous. It's just, the camera's doing all the work for me then.
Okay, so yeah, that's what the question was, because like, for example, when I first started calling myself vlogging, because I didn't know what to do, because I'm watching DJ Bar and all of them, and Rick Webb, so I'm trying to create a DJ video just like them, and vlog. So therefore, I have to plan out that, being that I only have 2 cell phones. So I have to plan out the stories. And the stories usually go like this. And there's a lot of people that still do that. That kind of irks me. 98% of the video, it could be a 20-minute video. 98% of the video is a time lapse. Some kind of time lapse. Where they say, "What's up, everybody? I'm DJ so-and-so, and today we're going to this, that, and the other." And then they break out, and they show them putting their equipment into the van. And it's basically, to me, putting your equipment into your vehicle is just like the way that all of us put it in the vehicle. It's nothing different. Yeah. So we watch the time lapse of that, and then we watch the time lapse of them driving to the event. Then when they get there to the event, it's usually, "What's up, everybody? We made it safely to the event. Now we're going to unpack and get everything set up." And then there's another time lapse. And then they go into, after they get finished with that one, they said, "And tonight we're working with," and then they go down through, if you've seen all their videos, it's the same equipment for each one. So I'm like, why are you going through each one of the names of each one of the things that you're using? In fact, why don't you tell me, why did you use that one, that certain mic, or that certain light, or that certain speaker? But they go through each one of those things, and then now you're about halfway about 2/3 of the way into the video. Now after that one, they show about maybe 1%, like 5 minutes of dancing, and that's usually Cupid Shuffle, the wobble, cha-cha slide, and then they do their outro where they say, "I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to our channel," and all that stuff. That is the basic format of seemed like the everyday gig vlog. I know I fell into that trap myself when I first started, because I didn't know what to record. So for me,
it's not a trap. You know what it is? It's a dark hole. That, you get this popular DJ that has 64,000 people following him. So it's like, wow, he has that many people following. I'm gonna basically copy what he's doing. So maybe I get some people following me that way. So it's not a trap. It's just a dark hole. That's all it is.
So my thing is, when you do your videos, to me, it's almost like the speaker placements, like when Buddy was talking about sound, and when we were talking about lighting. To me, when you're doing your video promo, the thing you should be thinking about is who are you doing the video for? Because a lot of times, a lot of these gig vlogs, to me, it seems like you're more so a lot. I shouldn't say you're. A lot of people seem to be doing those gig vlogs to impress other DJs. I don't see where that's like those gig vlogs are really exciting for the everyday client kind of thing. So what are you all's thoughts about it? Like what kind of mindset do you have when you do your videos?
Well, first of all, like you said, basically every DJ, Solstice, Bentley, everybody. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here at so-and-so. I love coming to this venue. This is my favorite venue, and this is the equipment I'm using tonight. And I got the EV whatever, or I got the RCFs, or I got the... Every video, it's the same thing. Why don't you just say, hey, listen, I'm here at so-and-so venue. We're going to be performing for so-and-so's wedding tonight. And we're going to shoot some footage, and I really hope you enjoyed the footage that you're going to see. We don't need to know all your equipment. Clients don't care what equipment you're using. I've been doing this for 22 years. I had one client ask me what type of equipment I use. Out of 22 years, you're not buying a car that you have to pop open the hood and look at the engine. I'm sorry. Some DJs will tell you, well, by these speakers, that gives you the opportunity to charge more for that wedding reception or that graduation party. No, it doesn't give you the opportunity to charge more for it. The only reason you're charging more for it is you got to pay those speakers off, or you got to pay that controller off, or you got to pay that mixer off, or you got to pay those lights off, or whatever. It's, to me, all that is a bunch of baloney. Just shoot the video. Say you're at so-and-so venue. Say your name, show yourself on the camera. Very rarely, I don't think I ever show myself on video. Even when I'm DJing, I do not say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to so-and-so venue. I'm your so-and-so host for the night. I'm DJ Mikey Mike, blah, 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 blah. First of all, I'm not the main attraction. I don't have to introduce myself. Second of all, I don't have to introduce the venue because that's on the invitation. Why say you're welcome to so-and-so venue? They know where they're at because they got that on the invitation.
But at the same time, your audience don't.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to say.
No, your audience does know because they have the invitation.
No, I don't have the invitation. If I'm watching your video, I don't have the invitation. So.
Oh, well, no. I understand that, but
so that's what the question was. It's like,
well, they're not addressing us. They're addressing the crowd there. So I mean, they could come up in the beginning of the gig log, say, listen, I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I'm going to be here at so and so venue tonight. We're going to be doing a lot of mixing, 50s through 90s or whatever. We're going to be doing a lot of EDM tonight. Hope you enjoy this video. Remember, we're at so-and-so venue. That's just for the people that are viewing the gig log. But the DJs that are making the gig log, they're addressing the audience and saying, ladies and gentlemen, here you are. You're at so-and-so venue. This is a beautiful venue. Like, no.
What video are you watching?
I will tell you, Brentley does it.
This is how those videos go. They usually tell us where they're at. Well, they don't do. That's not what they do at the beginning. It's not. No, he doesn't do that either.
No. Brentley and Solstice, you're right. They tell us where they're at. You look at DJ Bar, you will start off with, they're packing up, they're pulling the van away, and he stopped doing that because it just got so time consuming. But he shoots his video, which he has a cameraman shooting it for him, and he's out in the middle of the dance floor, and he has his DJ tuning up the music for the intros, and he's talking to the audience, welcome to so-and-so venue, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, to me, that shouldn't be part of the gig log. Cut that part out.
Yeah, we have to,
They
you
know
have
that.
to, yeah, you have to know where he's coming from. He was originally a club DJ, and he started getting to the mobile stuff. So all like in his mind, it's like he's,
Well,
club style.
even
He's a club style DJ.
well, no, even when you're a club style DJ, you don't talk on the microphone. My buddy's a club style DJ, and he still is till today. And he goes, "All right, people, here, let's hear it." Boom, you'll hear it. I mean, it just the people don't even see him. He's up in a booth somewhere that they don't even see him. He comes in, does a 2 hour set, and he's out. Another DJ comes in, 2 hour set, and he's out. So I mean, it's to me, make your gig log as you're talking to us here, saying, "All right, I'm DJ Mikey Mike. Tonight I'm going to be at R&D Memories. It's for Jody and Justin. They picked out a lot of EDM music tonight, so we're going to be shooting this video. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's get on with the night." And then just, boom, get on with the night. Don't be showing everything from your introduction to the bride and groom and how you can show the introduction to the bride and groom, but don't be talking to the audience and capturing that footage. That's what I'm trying to get my point across there.
Just that one, Hank. Remember, you doing a promo video for your couples, and if you're doing it for your couples, you want to show how you introduce certain things, because that comes into play sometimes when you do your consultation. You can show them how you do certain things, so therefore they can get a visual. So to me, it's important.
That's true too.
Yeah. So to me, my thing is, when you do your video, think about who you trying to impress. Are you trying to impress another DJ, or are you saying XYZ because you're trying to inform the couples what you use, why you use it? So I think if you say why you use it, that makes there'll be more relevant to the couple. So you're showing the dance floor, because they want to see how you mix, how you work a party, and how you run everything. So if you put that in your videos, then couples can go to your website or go to your channel and see exactly what kind of person, what kind of DJ you are, and see if you're a good fit for what they're looking for.
But then you think, now, okay, like I understand what you're saying. Now I'm the groom, and me and my wife sit down, our future wife sit down. We watch your video, and you're at the Sheridan, out in Cleveland, Ohio. Then you're at some eloquent golf course, and you're showing that there, and then you're at some other resort, you're showing that there, you're showing every piece of equipment, and then you're sitting there, you're like, geez, this guy seems like he'd be a good fit, but it seems like he just wants to show off his equipment all the time. Every video he's doing, he's just talking about his equipment. Why he, I don't know. That's just my perspective of it.
To me, it depends. It goes back to what I was saying originally when I said this is how a typical gig log for a lot of people go. If that's all you show, and you show a little dancing, that was my whole sarcastic point. So if you show that, dancing, but then you show more of the party, what's going on at the party, and show like a good combination of the two, I think that works out better. You still, to me, it's still, you still gotta show it at some point so people can get it, especially if you have multiple or different setups for different events. That's a good way to show that when I'm at this event, this is what I bring and why. So therefore people can see, and if they have their event at that place that you DJ'd at, if they can see what you bring and how everything gonna sound and look, that makes it a whole lot easier as far as the selling price. I
understand, but you don't have to do it in every video. I mean, every video they're doing it in. It's like you're watching the news every night, and they're not showing you every camera that they're using, and they're not showing you every microphone that they're using. It's the same concept. Show it if you get a new piece of equipment, they should have a video on their new equipment. Hey, this is what you picked up. This is going to be for our ceremonies, and they could do a mock-through ceremony. I worked with a photographer, and we did so many different shoots for different resorts around this area. I mean, it was unbelievable. We had actors and actresses and models that came in and did what they had to do, and boom. I mean, it just it seems like the DJs get very repetitious in their gig logs. Show more of the party. You don't have to name every piece of equipment that you're using every single gig log. There's no reason for it. It's just repetitious. It's like I watch the 6 o'clock news every night, and I don't hear them saying, well, we're using this Mark V camera tonight, and we got the new Sennheiser lavalier microphones. They don't say nothing about that. They don't say nothing about their equipment. They're just there to report the news. You're a DJ. You're there to show off what you can do. I mean, again, my strong point is, how many times did you have a client come up and ask you what type of gear do you use?
It depends on if they have a special need, then they ask me if I can handle that.
Okay, if they say, can you do our ceremony and can you do our reception? Yeah, I can do both because I have this equipment. But do they specifically ask you what brand of equipment that you use?
No, they'll ask you, do you have a wireless mic or a lapel mic?
You see,
or they're not going to ask you. They're not going to ask you because they don't know. So they're not going to ask you something that they don't know. But still,
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. These guys are trying to justify their extremely high prices because they're using this extremely overpriced piece of equipment. So, yeah, I have a lavalier mic. Yeah, I have a wireless mic. Yes, I have a wired mic just in case we have dropouts. I have the wired mic ready to go. They don't care if it's a Shure. They don't care if it's a no-name wired mic. That's my whole point. Why be bragging about all this equipment that you have? I mean, then they throw a price out at them, and they're like, "Oh boy, wow," And it happened to me a couple of times. I had one client say, "Well, you're too cheap," and I gave her a pretty high price, and she told me, "I'm like, I can adjust that for you, no problem." But again, I don't feel like advertising for Shure, Sennheiser, or whatever. I'm advertising for DJ Mikey Mike. You should be advertising for DJ HitmanDDub. Hunter should be advertising for DJ Cool's name, the coolest DJ at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be promoting these other products to justify your means of charging a higher price. It doesn't make you a better DJ. All it does is saying, well, hey, I have DJ Mikey Mike has Phoenix Pros, but I got the Sennheiser. Guess what? Sennheisers are more expensive and they're a better quality microphone. To go with me. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate on this one.
Yeah, but to me, yeah, it's there's a thin line. It depends on what is your end goal, because to me, I handed out a lot of business cards from that wedding on Saturday, and
Yes,
I didn't even play a single note yet, and they all came back to my gear though, because my gear was clean, my gear looked professional. Because again, going back to the one, no, but you gotta also remember, gear comes into play when there is a group of DJs that have messy cable management. The gear look like it's worn, and that's what they're used to. So when you see somebody with, you don't have to have, I'm not saying you have to have the most expensive, make sure it looks presentable and look nice.
Yes.
So that's where the gear comes into play. That's why sometimes you do have to show your gear at some point, because there's a lot of DJs, if you want to separate yourself, then you have to kind of like
Well,
you got to
the worst.
you got to toot your horn at some point. If you
The worst.
if you're a DJ that doesn't have a following or don't have a foot in the door, and you're trying to compete
Yeah.
with another DJ company who got the big this, big that, and the other, so you have to do something to also compete with them.
The worst thing for a DJ with speakers, honestly, not that there might be a little being in the side. People say, okay, yeah, well, that's understandable. The worst thing for a DJ is have the grill dented, not just in one place, but multiple places. That is the worst. I could look and say, okay, well, he uses his gear hard, but is it reliable? But do I really want that up on a tripod, or do I want that banged up, busted up grill sub on the floor at my wedding? That's like, I can see your point there. You know, make sure your area's clean. Make sure your wires are hidden as best as possible, because there are venues that you can go to that, I can't say don't allow you to hide your wires, but what it is they give you very minimal space to work with to begin with, and then you're trying to hide this, hide that, you know, and then they tell you, well, your nearest outlet is 25 yards down that way. And you're like, oh man, how do I hide that wire now? You know, and it's like, I have one venue told me my receptacle is across the dance floor. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, that's where the receptacle is. I said, what do you mean? That's where our receptacle is. The DJ plugs it over there, and then they run the wire over here. I said, well, how do they run it over here? Oh, straight right across the dance floor. I said, don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for an accident to happen, but you know, I don't want to be sued. If you want me to run that wire here, you're signing off that you are forcing me to run this wire this way, because I'm not having my insurance pay a claim here. There's no possible way. I said, why don't you just let me set up over there and put a couple tables over here, you know? But well, that man, you didn't want to do it that way. I'm like, well, all right, here, you sign on the dotted line that you're making me set up this way.
All right, so let's go to the let's get to cool thing, because he's been saying there.
Yeah.
I forgot what the original
thing.
question was. It's like,
It was about the
It's about mindset.
okay.
I think it was about. Well, what I was about to say.
'Cause I know we talked about the blog.
Yeah.
How do we put together our video? Do we do it? I forgot, because Mike went off on a tangent, and
I couldn't
it's like
there.
you sure in your other life you wasn't like a court what do you call it, a court stenographer?
Stenographer? No, I was a lawyer actually.
Yep.
Well, I guess when I do my videos, I'm not really trying to grab attention for anyone. Like I'm not, doing the videos for any specific DJ or anybody. I'm just doing it for myself, because hardly anyone watches my gig logs, so I'm just doing it
I'll
for
watch
myself.
it.
I
Yeah,
watch them.
because I know my videos may not be the most interesting videos in the world.
No, I take that back. I differ with you. When I first met you, your videos, you intrigued me because there's not too many other people that do kids parties that DJ for a church. So when you did that, I was like seeing what you're doing. So that was inspirational. So
Yes.
yeah, your older videos when you were before the pandemic, I thought that was inspirational.
Yeah, because when the pandemic hit, I was starting to get less and less gigs, like per year, and I just kept getting less busy in terms of getting booked. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, but
And I do show off my setup, and sometimes I actually start from my house or wherever. But from now on, I'm gonna start recording as soon as I get to the venue. I'm not gonna record at my house or record the car or record anything like that and just record when I get to the venue.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna do like a little panorama shot around the setup. I'm not gonna go in full in detail about the setup
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I normally do. I go over what I'm using that day, which is pretty much the same setup I've had for like 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I don't even have time to go through that. So lately, what I've been doing is just doing like little highlight videos.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do from now on as well. I'm gonna do panorama shots of the setup, maybe the decorations, because I'm gonna be doing an engagement party. I'm gonna record the decorations. I'm gonna record the dancing and put all those into a more recap style video.
Yeah, because it's easier for me to do that. And then too, since I've been doing a lot of AI kind of songs, create a AI song that'll go with that one, and do it like a
Yeah,
quick 3-4 minute video, get in and get out kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I,
I just want to I want to say something. I actually I never when I first started DJing, I never shot videos of any gig I did. The only thing I did is I took pictures. And the reason I did it is because when I first started DJing, I didn't take no pictures, and people come up and they ask me to play a song. Yeah, okay, no problem, get it on. Then a couple weeks later, I get a call from so and so. Will you DJ a party for me? Yeah, okay, no problem. I was happy to get the gig. I'm like, oh my god, I got another gig. It was exhilarating. And then I got a couple gigs that I'm like, oh my god, this guy drove me crazy at that last party I DJed. Why the heck did I take his gig? Well, I said, yeah, I'm gonna settle this. I'm gonna take pictures throughout the whole course of the night. And especially if somebody keeps coming up and requesting and requesting and requesting. So this way it might be a few weeks later and they could say I seen so and so's gig, and then even tell me that they're requesting music, and I say, oh, okay, what were you wearing? And they tell me what they were wearing, so I start going back to my pictures. I'm like, oh, and I always tell every client I will call you back either later today or tomorrow. And this way I start going through my photos from that gig. Now, this person was a total pain in the butt. I'm sorry I booked that day. That's the only reason I got into shooting pictures and then started creating videos, because it gave me a reference point to look back to see if I had any um people that were annoying me.
all right. And so let's get through these last two segments real quick. The
Oh,
last,
can't go quick. No, wait, I gotta go slow.
uh,
I'm old here. Come on, man.
so, oh, that's yeah. You set off my Siri. She's talking.
Oh,
But
hi,
let's get into
Siri.
this main one. Then we'll hit this last one. We'll skip and jump.
hot dogs, or I could buy the 4.99 hot dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I eat them, guess what? They both turn out to number two.
Mm.
It doesn't. There's one doesn't smell any worse than the other, you know. So I just like a little pun there. Our pizza, you can buy the best pizza in the world, but the best pizza in the world always comes from New York City. It has some onions on it too, buddy.
Uh-huh. And then real quick, Will went on to say, think normal people don't know one speaker from another, but if your setup looks clean, oh snap, I just moved it. If your setup looks clean and professional, that's what they care about, and that's what I totally agree about. They only care about your gear if it starts to sound crappy, then they'll notice that.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to. I'm gonna break into this real quick. There was a DJ in our local area here, and he did YouTube videos. This is prior to COVID, and I mean, he was showing all his gear and everything that he had, and he's taking this to this club tonight, and da 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 da. On the way home from the club that night, he stopped to have a quick beer at a local bar, right down the road from my house. He went in. He had one beer. He came out, every piece of equipment was out of his vehicle. They smashed the windows in his van, pulled the doors open from the van, and took every piece of equipment. Why? And his insurance would not pay for it because they said, you advertised and you showed what you got. So we're not paying for your stolen equipment because you more or less, he was advertising that he had all this equipment, and his insurance company said, no, we're sorry, you shot yourself in the foot. So you got to watch this. So like insurance companies have these hidden clauses in there. Hopefully mine doesn't have those hidden clauses in there. I don't want to find out. That's why I don't advertise, oh, I got this camera, I got that kind of equipment. That's from me to know and somebody else to find out,
All right.
But I felt so bad they stole every piece of equipment on him.
And he had it in his car?
Yeah, and in a van, all it is the two back windows, and he had metal screens on the two back windows. So they smashed the windows, and they got something in there, and they were able to pull the doors open on it, and then they just cleaned out the van. How long does it take to drink a 12-ounce can of beer?
Yeah, because I know certain insurances, if it happens out your vehicle, they give you a hard time.
Yeah. And thank God that we had a DJ, God bless his soul, DJ Mo. He got shot and killed by a drive-by shooting, and it was a few years right before he got shot and killed. This DJ that had everything stolen off him had a wedding that next day. So me and Mo both talked to each other, and Mo had extra equipment, so Mo let him use the extra equipment. He borrowed one or two things off me too, so it was one hand washing, one hand helping the other hand washing each other. You gotta cover for each other. But to go out and steal this guy's equipment, no, that's.
Yep. All right, and then Will went on to say, you have to decide when you do your videos. You have to decide, is it for your clients or other DJs?
Mm-hmm.
And then something about, I guess he says, I do that because I'm a diva. So I'm thinking he going back to your comment about DJs promoting themselves.
Oh, he is a diva. Let me tell you. I swear to God, I think he's John Travolta.
Then it says
stand alive.
Yep. Then he says sometimes you have to record yourself doing intros for brides, show confidence in your ability. And then
Well, how long have you been DJing?
And then he said,
I think he's over 10 years. If he wasn't a good DJ, he doesn't have no confidence. Get out of the business, then. Well.
And then he says, when you talk about your gear and just equipment, and that's all you talk about, it's almost like it's a commercial, and then it gets cheesy.
Okay, well, I stick for you. I'll give you all the confidence you need, buddy.
Yep, and then we're over 2 hours. We're coming up on
Oh man,
3.
Great. Yeah.
Great. Oh. And I got to get up at 4 o'clock
Alright.
in the morning.
And then Crossfire came, so I'd like to shout out Crossfire because he shows up on
Bye,
the
how you doing,
DJ
man?
Hey,
roundtable
Crossfire.
too. Yep. And gig logs are a pain in the butt. Yep. It's the editing part that's the pain in the butt.
Not to me, because I can
Oh, yeah.
get through editing and recording like this, like clockwork.
Yeah, because you're spontaneous and you can do that.
Yeah.
I'm more
Yeah.
methodical or a perfectionist. I'm like Dr. Dre I'm to gig vlogs like Dr. Dre is to making beats. It takes him forever to create his beats because he always gotta tweak this, tweak that.
Wayne, why did you say Dr. Dre and Beats?
Hmm?
Why did you say Dr. Dre and Beats?
Because that's what he created.
Yeah, but guess what?
What?
My best friend, one of my best friends, worked directly with him,
Uh-huh.
and him and Dre are like this.
Hmm.
Unbelievable. I mean, I'll tell you a story. We won't do it here on this. But Dre is one guy that I know I would never meet him in my lifetime, but he has so much respect for a human life. It's unbelievable. It's unreal what he did for my buddy.
Mm. All right, so we're gonna save this for another time. The rest of the
You
show.
gotta be kidding.
Well,
Really?
but yeah, because remember, if you think about how long it took you to come on, and then we had to fix your technical issues and all that kind of stuff. And
But I can say one thing, you know, there's other DJ shows out there. I love them. I watch them. We got TBN Productions, The Round Table. We got Cue It Up. That's our show. We have Time to Spin. We have what's the other one? What's doing it?
DJ Bisco.
DJ Bisco. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm the clown of this this podcast. I want to make it fun. I want people to have a lot of fun listening to us, even though I might sound like a fool and rant and rave and go from one subject to another. That's what DJing's about. I mean, you could be playing in the club and all of a sudden you're going from one genre to another, to another, to another, and then back to the other, and all of a sudden you're throwing a slow song in there. It's like, wow, what, you know, like, but that's what DJing is about. So that's why I want to make this podcast about. You got the idiot here, me, and I've been doing it for 22 years. I love doing it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last at doing it, just because medical complications are arising. And the thing is, I love it. I want people to know from our point of view what it is like being a DJ, because, you know, some people take it so seriously and like, I'm not going to play this or I'm not going to play that. You know, I was in this key and I don't want to jump out of that key, or I was in this, you know, genre, I'm not going to jump out of the genre. Now, if the bride comes up and says, listen, I want to hear the Grateful Dead and I got Pitbull on, guess who's going to win that contest? The bride. You know, so that's it. Yeah, it's just, I want to be spontaneous. I want to answer questions. I want to answer goofy. I want to go from one subject to another and make it a story and make it fun for people.
Uh-huh.
And I had Dwayne going, that's so good. Give it longer. No, we'll let it go on that one.
All right.
Man, Dwayne drive me crazy.
What was that?
Dwayne drive me crazy.
Oh, when you came in and then your mic don't work.
Okay, I mean, technical difficulties. That's good. I mean, I had so much fun talking again, and having so much fun on the show, and even during the week when we talk, it's great, man. I'm so happy we became friends, and we are so much more alike than you wouldn't believe.
Uh-huh.
How'd you like
Tell me
me?
a cool thing.
How'd
Cool thing,
you
man.
like
Hey, dude.
me being a guest?
Dude, how is that sound switch working out?
It's working awesome.
Awesome, man. That's great. That is great. I'm
And
happy I got it to you.
Yeah, and it's still going strong.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's what you gotta do for other DJs. You know, you gotta help each other out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little words of wisdom, a little kindness, kind words. Sometimes it can be harsh words too. But it's the harsh words. If I say something harsh to you, cool thing, I'm gonna come back and explain why I said it to you.
Yeah.
Some things other DJs may say some harsh words to you while on your videos. Ignore them, buddy. Ignore them. Next time you do a video, mention a minute and just smile in the camera and say, "Hey, this is for you." You know?
Yeah.
That's it, man. All right, hey, we're gonna continue this on our next episode.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Cool thing.
Yeah.
Will he be down for it?
I will. I
Okay.
definitely will. I definitely will.
All right, cool.
See, hey, Dwayne,
Yeah.
know what happened? Cool
What?
thing sent me a check. Cool thing sent me a check for $100 so you can come on next week again.
So I did not.
He did, I'm telling you. He said, "When I talk all when I come on
Sorry.
next week."
I did not.
I know you did. So many cool things. I make everybody laugh out there in what do you call it? YouTube land.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
It's surely a pleasure, and I must go to bed because I gotta get up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. See you, Mike.
Guys, I love all you. I love everybody out there, YouTube land, and Facebook, and everybody. Peace. Enjoy. Have a great night.
Okay.
I'll see you soon.
See you, Mike, and
Bye,
we're going
guys.
to finish up our show. Okay.
Okay.
Shut up. Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Bye bye.
All right. So, here's a quick recap before we get into our shout outs. First, we found out that you don't need fancy gear to start live streaming. If you want to live stream or create a video, just use whatever you have and just create your videos. Let me see. Oh, somebody's still there. Crossfire said, "Have fun." I guess he's talking to DJ Mike. Have a show about the differences of worldwide mobile DJs versus US DJs. So, Crossfire, you saying that you want to make a guest appearance on the show? So let us know. Then we can, because I forget, is Crossfire, where are you from, Crossfire? I'm trying to remember. Was he from Europe or something that he moved to the United States? Yeah, because if we can do that, let us know in the comment section if you want to jump on the show and we can make that happen. And it's all about starting. And let's get to our shout outs. So our shout outs go to DJ Cool Thing. Yeah, I've been following DJ. Yeah, I thought he's from like the UK and in Alabama. Yeah, we can work something out. And you can definitely be on the show. So I'll get in contact with you. Make sure Crossfire DJ. I probably can find you or get your information from Buddy. I don't want to like have you put it, or follow me on Instagram. Direct message me on Instagram because I don't want to like put your information out there. So we can get in contact and then we can make that happen. And Cool Thing, I met him back in 2019. So you can follow Cool Thing. And everything is at DJ Cool Thing, all one word. And that's his YouTube channel.
And that's the same name as my Instagram. So if you want
Yep.
to follow me on Instagram, that's my Instagram name.
Yep. And then, of course, make sure you join our Facebook group page. And that's the generic URL. But if you want to just type in Cue It Up in the Facebook search engine, and you'll see the public group and the private group. You can join either one. Also, you can follow DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter, Instagram, and it's DJ Mikey Mike 45 on Instagram, and then on Facebook at DJ Mikey Mike. And then you can follow me at HitmanDDub on all of my social networks at HitmanDDub, and then on YouTube it's the HitmanDDub. But if you're watching this video, you're probably watching it on YouTube, so you just click the subscribe button and click on the bell to be notified when I drop a new video. Then also, we have a group called the DJ Collective Network, where it's one culture, many voices, and it's welcome to our primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live stream shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we got the knowledge, stories, and inspirations to help you level up. And so, here's a quick disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed during the DJ Collective Network primetime shows are those of the individual hosts and guests of that show. They do not necessarily reflect the views or official stance of the different shows of the DJ Collective Network as a whole, its affiliate, or production partners. Viewers and listeners' discretion is advised. As you saw, even on this show, that we kind of had our own opinions about certain things, but still, everybody's is entitled to their opinion. That's what makes us all different, and that's the reason why we do the show, so we can get different viewpoints, and we as DJs can either accept it or do our own thing. So we're not here to silence anybody. But again, the DJ Collective Network is a group of shows that we have, that we all DJ friends that have our own little, that we branched out, and we have our own little podcast and our own Facebook show group page. But on Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, for every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing, and which is our guest for tonight's show. And then on Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, join Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversations that matter. It's the DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TBM Productions, with real DJs, real stories, real lessons, all at the round table. And then he does the replay on YouTube at 12 o'clock on his channel, which is at TBM Productions DJ1, I believe. And then on Wednesday, we didn't get a new show, so I'm going to hope that a new video will be popping up on the DJ Biz School next Wednesday. And his show is at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. It's the DJ Biz School with Sean, DJ Night Owl. It's not just about spinning tracks, it's about spinning success. Learn the business sides of DJing, like branding, marketing, SEO, and strategy. And then on Thursdays, it's the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the HitmanDDub, and DJ Mikey Mike. It's not just talk. It's real tools for real DJs of all skill levels. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also, I'd like to again thank Crossfire. He's one of the chat members from the DJ Roundtable. Will's also been he's been actually on the Time to Spin show, and he has shown up in the chats previously on one of our shows and on DJ Roundtable. But also we have Kevin, who's out gigging. He has karaoke on Thursdays. He's normally in the chat. and you can see Kelvin in real life on the KJ Chill Room Karaoke Chat, hosted by Matt and Eric. And they do a replay every Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on YouTube on the DJ Network TV show. But they do a live chat that you can join in on Mondays at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our fade out message for this week is, you don't need a studio to start, just the courage to hit record. So again, the hard part is just starting, and then once you start, the next hard part is being consistent. And that's where I fall off, because sometimes it's easy to give up, but that's the one thing I had said earlier about Cool Thing that drawn me to Cool Thing and that impressed me with him. He's consistent no matter what goes on. You can always count on Cool Thing to come up with something new. And at least it can get me from when I'm driving and get me from point A to point B. So that's why I like to listen to his videos. So do you have anything you want to say before you head on out?
Not really.
All right. Yeah. So again, we got to continue this.
Yeah, I can't think of anything, but we will continue this next week.
Okay.
And for those of you who are just starting out, don't be afraid to hit record.
Yep.
Just let your camera do the work.
Yep.
And you'll capture each and every moment.
Yep. And
you don't even have to have expensive gear to get started. All you need is your cell phone. Everyone has one these days. Just pull out your phone and start recording.
Yep, because I was going to say, because the thing is, you may not get a viral video right off the bat. You may not get a lot of followers, but the best thing is to have some content on your channel, so when they finally see you and they like you, they have something else to look at. So that's why you should start and keep on going, no matter, because you're going to start off just you watching the video. So just get it, and eventually you'll grow your audience.
And here's another word of inspiration. Just like last week's episode of Cue It Up, don't listen to the haters. Just keep doing you and just block out the haters once you upload that video.
Yep. And then if you one of the ones that really gets to your feelings, remember, you can always turn the comment section off so you don't even see it. Okay.
Right.
With that said, and then Crossfire said he's seen Cool Things YouTube channel, wart and all as well.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us. Because each week I don't think I actually thank our viewers, but I like to thank everyone for joining us live here, and then those that was brave enough to stay with us for our full 3 hours now. And also our show just don't happen on Thursdays at 9 o'clock. It also continues. So if you're watching the replay of this, leave us a comment in the comment section and we'll be more than happy to answer it. And again, if you want to be on the show or have a topic that you want to discuss, also leave that in the comment section, or better yet, join our Facebook group page and leave your comments and suggestions there as well. So with that said, I hope you all have a great week. Remember, before you start to spin, you got to first cue it up. I hope you all have a great weekend and go out there and crush your gigs, and make sure you record it and then tag us and tag me, the HitmanDDub, DJ Cool Thing, DJ Mikey Mike, or tag the Cue It Up podcast so we can watch your video, so we can celebrate your successes as well. So with that said, I'll see you all next week. And remember, we are planning to continue this conversation because there's a lot that we still have to cover. And stay awesome, guys. That's what Crossfire had mentioned in the chat. So see you all next week. Take care and stay blessed.
Shine my rhymes like the sun while the world still sleeps. Scouring the sights looking for new leads. Marathon gigs with no in between. Your worth is from a rear view they seen. They want to party, but I'm battling fatigue, chasing passion while my mental is still out on leave. It's an everyday hustle, so respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Cue up the pressure. Pressure. Cue up the pressure. Pressure. Cue up the pressure. Dollar earned, got a story to tell. Dreams in the booth where the DJs dwell. Clubbing is a struggle like it's all I've got. Set it up, break it down, travel to the next spot. Ambitions, the engine stay sharp like a tool. Revving through my gigs, power drinks is fuel. It's an everyday hustle, we respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Pressure, cue up the pressure.